Hello and welcome to my first lore dive video. In this series, we dive into the lore of horror games to see what we can find. Today, we'll be discussing the game We Harvest Shadows. Let's begin. We Harvest Shadows is a horror game mixed with a farming simulator. In the game, you play as Garrett and you buy a farm and start cultivating the land shut off from the rest of the world. As the days progress, things get stranger and stranger as disturbing events happen and your past returns to haunt you. Currently, the game is just a demo, but that hasn't stopped it from already becoming wanted by a massive group of fans. While playing the demo, I noticed a few things that made me wonder. Are we still on Earth? Better yet, are we still alive? Check this out. At the beginning of the game, Garrett is monologuing about his life and what caused him to buy the farm. We know that something happened, some type of event that left him alone, but we don't exactly know what that is. We can deduce that it might have something to do with Claire, as she is mentioned multiple times during the demo, but we can't be sure until the full game is released. We also have our first horror event that happens during the monologue. In fact, the first line of the game calls out this event.
Those eyes, that demonic face in the rearview mirror, that's when it all started.
This line foreshadows an event that takes place shortly after in the car. If you watch the rearview mirror, you will see a demonic face appear briefly and watch the player. But what could this mean? It means that the farm itself is not connected to these horrific events, but Garrett is. Now here's where things get interesting. What if Garrett is dead and the farm we're cultivating is in Purgatory? Now, hear me out. Right before we see the face in the mirror, Garrett drives past his turn and says he is physically unable to turn the wheel.
It sounds crazy, but I physically could not turn the wheel.
What if that symbolizes the fact that he was already dead? Maybe he crashed his car and now is being taken to Purgatory, and his not being able to turn the wheel symbolizes that his path is set. The face in the rearview mirror could also be some sort of Grim Reaper-like entity whose job is to bring him to the farm so his punishment could begin. Now let's take a step back for a minute and talk about Purgatory. According to Merriam-Webster, Purgatory is defined as a place or state of punishment wherein, according to the Roman Catholic doctrine, the souls of those who die in God's grace may make satisfaction for past sins so to become fit for heaven. Now, let's be honest, this sounds a lot like the farm. Garrett is tormented there by these different entities and by his past life events. In fact, on the morning of day 2, we see one of these past events of him and Claire, which seems to bring him pain when he remembers it. Garrett also seems to be tormented by a female entity. My guess is it could have something to do with the event that separated him and Claire. Maybe he feels guilty because of this event, whatever it may be. Another interesting line is, one day down and an eternity to go. Initially, I thought this was a throwaway line, but what if it isn't? What if it's another hint at where he is, trapped for eternity until he can overcome his past? Something else to note is the term bought the farm. This is an American slang expression that means to die. Now, its origins are a little iffy, but its meaning still stands, and Garrett literally says, "I bought the farm" at the beginning of the game. Now, this could just be a coincidence, or maybe not. The final thing I want to bring up is the fact that he is alone. He is completely cut off from the outside world. When he locks the gate and throws away the key seems to vanish in a puff of smoke, leaving him trapped there. Now, there is a guy who comes and picks up and sells stuff for Garrett, but as of the demo, this character has never been seen. It is also said that saints can visit some souls in Purgatory, although rare. So this guy who shows up to sell Garrett's stuff could be a saint trying to help Garrett grow and move on from his past life. But in all honesty, we need to wait until the full release of the game to see if this character appears and to learn more about him. We have many unanswered questions about the game, and most of them won't be answered until the full release. Plus, while there may be a lot of things pointing towards the Purgatory theory, there are also a few things that point away from it. So tell me, what do you think? Could Garrett be in Purgatory? Could he be somewhere else? Or is he just being haunted while he lives on the farm? Let me know your thoughts in the comment below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more We Harvest Shadow content and horror content in general, and I'll see you in the next one.